Well, happy Friday, everyone. Lots going on with Idaho politics. Oral arguments got underway this morning at the Idaho Supreme Court over the state's school choice tax credit program about whether or not it's unconstitutional. That's the program that sets aside $50 million to families for private school expenses. We're going to get to that in just a few minutes, but first. As the global tensions rise, Senate Foreign Relations Committee Chairman Jim Risch is weighing in on the Trump administration's approach to foreign policy. Joe Parris sat down with the Idaho senator to talk about recent U.S. military operations and the limits of American intervention abroad.
I think probably it wasn't explained as well as it should be. The president said, well, we're going to run that country. Well, to the average American, what that means is we're going to flood it with people and they're going to do this and they're going to do that. The president and the Secretary of State had a well thought out plan as to how they actually were going to, quote, run the country. It wasn't on a detailed basis, it wasn't day to day, but they were going to have to do things differently in Venezuela. You notice that it took a little while before the woman who was sworn in actually stepped up to be sworn in. She was negotiating with the administration, and she wanted assurances that she wasn't going to be next. The Venezuelan people themselves need to take control, and obviously in the medium term, the plan is to get to have a democratic election in Venezuela, and the people of Venezuela are not, this isn't a foreign thought to them. They had a robust democracy there, a robust capitalist free market system before the last two leaders who were dictators and took the country right in the toilet.
I've seen some media commentary that if the United States goes into Venezuela and captures Maduro for perceived crimes that he's charged with, what's going to stop Russia and Putin for doing something like that with Ukraine? How closely is the conversation on Russia right now, or is it kind of, I guess, a non-starter of that happening?
As you know, I'm not only chairman of Foreign Relations, but I'm also the most senior Republican on the Intelligence Committee. I know internally what happened, how that thing was planned, how it was played out, what actually happened on the ground. Let me tell you, Russia has no ability to do what we did. I mean, that was done by the strongest, most sophisticated military on the planet. Russia has no ability to do that. So I'm really not concerned in them trying to do that. Look, they marched a whole army on Kyiv, and they couldn't even get there. They bogged down. So there's nobody can do what our American military did in going in, picking this guy out and bringing him back to New York to stand trial.
Other hot topic, of course, Iran, with the protests going on there on the ground. President Trump sending a very strong message of what to do with protesters, basically saying you better not execute anyone. Yeah. I guess day to day, monitoring what's happening there, what's the insight look like?
Well, look, I've lived with this for a long time, and we've seen these protests before. And we were always optimistic, and we always had our heart broken. I got to tell you, it's always dangerous to say this, but I really think it is different this time for a lot of different reasons. There's a lot of things going on right now that easily could make this different. How it plays out and what they do, again, it will depend on by the Iranian people. We cannot be the policemen of the world. We are not the policemen of the world. And I know there's a lot of people that think we should go in there and do this, that, and the other thing. The president is right in sending a strong message, but at the same time being reserved about what he's interested in doing there. The Iranian people need to handle this by themselves, and they have the ability to do it.